to VollGazzRacing Season 8 Division 1 Round 10 here at the Kimi Ring circuit in Finland. So the championship was wrapped up last week. Not last week, the week before, because we've had a break since then. And the track is wet, so the opening laps won't really matter. Just need to set a lap time, and then the last laps of the session will be the most crucial ones for these guys. VTR looking to wrap up second in the championship, so I mean, given the circumstances, he's got to be happy with second place. Finley getting on to the grass. Now Finley, I have to explain, if you did not watch Division 2 earlier, he is extremely ill and he's not done any practice, so don't expect fireworks. And his luck's been terrible anyway, but watch this be the round where he actually gets good fortune, because that's sort of how it works in these cases. You got Craig, he's been on the podium for the last 3 races. The other one, he wasn't on the podium, he was in 5th, so very consistent run of form for Craig at the moment. Now I'm going to look at the standings, and I know it's in the chat, so Platt doesn't have to stop on track and send them me. So let's see, so excuse me, Craig got 2 second places. But there isn't an updated. That's it. Anyway, VTR, Flat, and Nelson are on their first lap of the session. Down the back straight, there you go. VTR invalidating the lap. Flat will now be the one to set the fastest lap time first. See what kind of lap time Platt can produce. It'll be a 140 something, I'd imagine. Up to the line. 48.5. The opening lap time of the session. Nelson, where are you? He's just coming out the final corner, coming out like he's just been off track or something like that. 8.6 seconds off, so he must have had a crash at some point I've not noticed. He comes Finn up to line to go second place, 3.8 seconds off the pace. I'm expecting to get a little bit quicker, but yeah, trying to play in the conditions he's under at the moment isn't ideal. Now here comes Howling. I think that's a new helmet for this weekend. Hard on the brakes into turn 5, and he's in fact on an outlap. Vito's having another go at it. He's got Platt up in front, so he's got a decent marker, but he's not right behind him, so he can't take full advantage of it. Rousing up the hill, and now we get to the blind right. You can't see it, you can't see it, you can't see it. You can as soon as you get there. Platt's made a mistake, valid to the lap, so he'll have to either carry on and hope he doesn't, or he's going to get out of the way. Yep. Into the hairpin. Try and just avoid the curb. Treats us nicely there. Hard on the gas out the final corner. VTR goes second. Sire now using the third sector, going for the double right. Craig is on a lap. I think so. First Finley. Finley up to the line. And he improves by 1 second. And now Craig up to the line. So yeah, Craig's had two. Yeah, so he's had three. I think he's had 3 third places. So I didn't get that wrong with everything. But anyway, Sire coming to the end of the lap. He should. You would imagine he'd get inside the top 3 quite easily. And he's gone into the box. I don't really understand that, but now Howling is on the lap, currently in the second sector. So VTR is to get second place secured today. He has to outscore Nelson by 9 points and outscore Sire by 5, and so on and so on and so on. And he comes Sire up to the line. Sire, Howling, sorry. Sorry, and he goes fifth, sliding in into turn 1. We saw in the Division 2 race that the Hondas had no rear grip, and it's looking like that might be the same. I believe everyone's on in laps or out laps currently. Getting to the crunch time now. Best lap times will be coming in within the next 6 minutes. Howling down again in turn 1. Nelson Gray sector 1. The front of that Ducati really didn't want to go and work through that corner. Quick change of direction now for the long turn 7. No, it's not turn, that's turn 9. My brain's not wide in today. But it's turn 9. Oh, and Nelson's run out of fuel. That's it to red sector 1 as he approaches turn 5 now. Making sure to run on the dry line, or the drying line, through 6, 7, and then 8. Gotta be careful with the curves. Done that nicely. And onto the double right at the front. Having a little bit of a wobble, get a bit sideways, but he's still all good. Rising up the hill now. Hold on the gas. And now into the hairpin. Lots of spinning and the engine's revving a lot into the final corner. And he's lost the front and he's down. And he's going to box straight away and put on some fresh tyres and fuel load. So improving his sector 1. Running the 2015 Rossi Mugello helmet. Improvement in sector 2. Crossing sector 3 points, another improvement. Into the final corner. Across the line, he goes into second place, 2 tenths off pole position. Craig through the second sector, approaching. Fortunately, for some reason, it's not showing where the sector points are on the circuit, so I don't actually know where they are. But I know sector. Yeah, there we go. Sector 3 is approaching. He's in it now. Improving in sector 2. VTR improves in sector 1. We're going to get quite a few riders now. Nelson's coming out the box. Finley now coming across the first sector point roundabouts now. Nope, because it's an outlap. Howland's still in the box. But Craig, let's go to Craig. Currently improving his lap time. On the gas, hard on the brakes into the final corner. And up to the line, and he moves, and he stays in 4th. VTR now. Another improvement in sector 3. This will surely go within a second of pole position. Hard on the gas. Out the final corner, up to the line. 1.1 seconds. No surprise, he's improving his first sector. This is probably going to be a 40. God, there's 46, 45, maybe, if it all goes to plan. Depending on how much grip there is on the track and stuff. It's another improvement in the second sector. Running a bit of a curve though, you don't want to be doing that. Because you do top the gas and you'll be off. But here we go into the blind right. Taking that perfect. Oh my god, he's got lucky there with Craig's bike. Respawning just at the right time. Finley's improving, VTR's improving. Keep an eye out for Nelson, he'll be improving. Because he will be on his. He'll come up to the. Yeah, there we go. Finley's gone down at the long left hander. Into the final corner. What's this going to? It's a 140 watt. Is it 47? Maybe you can even sneak in a 46. 47.6. Maybe I'm being a bit ambitious for a 46. Need to improve once again. Can he get within the 1 second range? You should think so. Maybe a 1 point something. No, Howling's down, and that is his session over. Only getting one lap in. BTR up to the line. He only improves by a tenth of a second. Nelson's onto the grass. That's his session over. He'll be starting in 5th. Craig's run out of fuel, and Platt's the other one going again. So that's basically your grid is basically sorted. And there's a very slight chance Nelson can still jump a position, because he's still improving, but I doubt he'll be able to find, with that mistake, he'll be able to jump into 4th place. But we'll see. Oh, he does! Wow. So Nelson could have been in the front row if he hadn't have made that big mistake there. Oh, Platt's quite hot into that corner there, and that's the session over for him. So that's it. Platt is on pole, Sire 2nd, VTR 3rd, Nelson 4th, Craig 5th, Finnish 6th, and Howling in 7th.
Good morning, Gavin Emmett here.
So we just wait and wait. Just waiting on Craig and Nelson now. I really just noticed Platt's missing. Right. So we'll have to just he always disconnects at the right moment, doesn't he? And old Craig's bike is well done. Give these a test run into turn 1. I'll give them to the hairpin and then we'll get the session going again. Oh my god.
In a moment we'll go live to Parc Fermé for interviews with the riders who made the podium, but in the meantime
Well, let's go again.
Good morning, Gavin Emmett here. Welcome to all you race fans. We are live from the Kimi Ring circuit for the finish round of MotoGP.
Right, we're all ready, let's go. Will it be 10 in a row? Most likely. Alright, here we go. And we're off. Into turn 1, it's going to be Saya who takes the whole shot. So he'll file through into turns 2 and 3 and now the hairpin. That goes round the outside and takes the lead. Saya runs wide for the hairpin. Whoa! And Howling getting onto the curb and's lost all sense of grip and drops all the way back down to 5th place. Craig's down in 7th, VTR in 6th. All starts for them. Holding the brakes now for all these Ducati riders. Where in God's name's Howling going? And he's down. To Nelson, Alan Finley as well. Both Pramac riders have been extremely unlucky in the past. How many races? But you know, the running is just running 3rd and 4th. Usually it's very uncommon for them to go lap 1 without any issues. Nelson nearly high siding out of that corner there with the curb. Well, I'm sure it'd be a moment of celebration if they both can get through lap 1. In fact, whoa! And Craig's gone down in the background. But I think it'd be a moment of joy for the pair of them if they can just survive lap 1 without any issues. Sarah in 2nd place. Probably the best he can hope for. Hold your breath as he went on the curb there, and Prey's gone down again. Making contact with Howling, so it seems like something's happened between the pair of them. Into the final corner, size really wide. And Nelson is starting to close in. And VTR looks to have got through on Finley, but Finley's going to attack back up the inside. He's going to run wide. And VTR is back through. But the two Primo Pramac Ducatis have gone lap 1 without crashing, so it's a step in the right direction. Hard on the brakes into turn 5. This is where you sort of expect most of the overtaking place. It's definitely the easiest place to make an overtake, because all you have to do is slipstream and try not break them. But sometimes it's not easy, especially if you're not on the machinery to pull alongside down the straight. It's just a bit of attentiveness beside out into the blind right. Just doesn't want to make any mistakes. It's crucial in this early part of the race you don't make any mistakes. Keep things nice and clean and safe, especially when you're in a situation where you can do that. No great amount of risk needs to be taken at this point. He's done that one. He's done the hard part. He's got Nelson bearing down on him, I should say. Nelson, he's staying in that half a second to 6/10 range most of the time. So just absolutely left him for dead on the straight. Oh my god. Side is gone. I say he's been in the 5 to 6 gap radius and then range, then he's down against 1.3 seconds. Into the blind right and then into the left-hander. In a hairpin nice and tight. So it seems like as the track's drying, maybe Sire's gaining more and more pace in this race. VTR just doesn't seem like he's got the out and out pace to try and catch these guys in front. The two in front are the ones who can who he's got to fight for. He's got to fight with to hold second in the championship. He should have that, but they're making it that tiny bit harder for him to secure it. Breaks on down again. It just seems like this race for him just isn't going his way. His run of top fives might be coming to an end. Nelson, I don't believe it. Nelson's gone down. He's lost the front, I think, at the hairpin. And now that promotes VTR into third place. Given Finley's illness, fourth place is very respectable, and the fact that he's had so much bad luck this season, and that's yet to happen in this race. Sort of what's over is coming true, isn't it? Now on the straight they go. I think Nelson should be able to. Nelson, yeah, Finnish is going to let Nelson through. Doing some team play. You don't often see that, but feeling knowing that he is the weaker one of the two, he's going to allow Nelson through to try and close in. VTR. Only for Nelson to crash anyway. Oh my god. Oh. So he loses time to VTR. You know, if VTR crashes, that could be the difference between Finley getting a podium and getting 4th place. Damn. So now you got the two Dutchmen, the former teammates, in 5th and 6th places. Don't know what's happened to Nelson in the past 2 laps, but the rhythm seems to have gone. Maybe Howley's Honda's finally clicking into gear. Into turn 1 for these pair. Howling preferring to take the title line. So you take less corner speed, but you hold the title line, travel the distance. Down the straight. Look at the time he gains on the straight. Nelson's just a sitting duck, but unfortunately for Nelson, Howling's too far away to attack. But look how much he's... Oh, Nelson's lost the front and Howling just about misses him. It's all gone wrong for Nelson. 3 crashes in 3 laps. But just going off the track there at the end of the line where I'm guessing he just clipped the grass ever so slightly. See, so he just about gone there in 2nd place. VTR in 3rd, Finley in 4th, just surviving really, I think, to as well as he can. Howling in 5th, Nelson in 6th, and Craig in 7th. The VTR get... Oh, that Craig's picked up a long lap as well. So at this current stage, VTR's 3rd, that gives him 10 points. Nelson's 6th, that gives him 5 points. So that's not enough to secure 2nd place in the standings currently, but it makes his life a lot easier come the next round. Down the straight. Gap 6 second base to the gaps to Sire and Platt is exactly the same to VTR. Tell Finnish is taking things nice and easy, taking no risk. Taking things how he should do, really. It's unlikely he's going to get a podium at this stage unless Sire, VTR or Platt have a massive... Oh, Nelson's got 4 laps in a row. think Finn will just be glad if he can go this race without crashing. I think that's what he'll be celebrating the most. Because he hasn't had a top 4 finish probably since like round 2. Sort of ironic, wasn't it? But he's had his best result when he didn't practice and he's ill. So, but Craig now is approaching Nelson. Nelson, can he make it 5 for 5? Sire has gone down at turn 5, but he's got big enough of a buffer over VTR to maintain second place. Let's see if VTR can, if he can find some extra speed from somewhere to try and close it on Sire for the final few laps. But no, he's not. He's going to go onto the grass. Is what he's going to do, and lose himself a few tenths of a second. Howling looking to finish in 5th place. Honda not looking the most comfortable out there. He's probably had the least preparation out of these lot, I'd imagine. Apart from maybe Finley. Back out for a plat with 5 laps to go, 13-second gap. Just riding round. Craig's gone down, so whoa! Platt nearly going down there, hitting the curb, probably hitting some lime water, and lucky to stay on there. See how much time he lost to Cyrus in his tyre. Gets into that sector. Howling's gone down. Yes, he lost two odd attempts. Let's see where it's off. Oh, it's a complete disaster for them. So Finley 5.9 seconds behind. 4 laps to go. He'll be praying for this race to be over, I can imagine, just so he can go back bed. Or something like that. He's definitely got no pressure from Howling anymore. That will be, it's coming for the penultimate corner and then the final corner to start the third to final lap. Nelson is closing in on Howling, but unfortunately all his crashes and his recent crashes blown his chance of getting inside the top 5 unless Howling gets a long lap, which it could be possible. Craig's gone down again. This race for Craig has been a bit of a disaster. He's not usually one for crashing, but seems like the conditions are really catching him out. So, just 2 and a bit laps to go for Platt to win his 10th race of 10. Looks like we'll make it 12 out of 12 by the end of the season. Two laps to go. Nelson is catching Howling, but it's not at a fast enough rate unless Howling gets a long lap or does a mistake. You see, he's just there. I think that's closing very quickly, but not at a quick enough rate. You know, he needs 2 seconds a lap, and that just ain't gonna happen. Yeah, Craig just having a very un-Craig kind of race, just well, a lot of mistakes. They usually wouldn't make up. Here comes Platt to start the final lap of the race. He's got to be careful he doesn't get a long lap on his final lap. Not that it'll mean anything, but he knows he's got to be careful. Through turn number 5. Nelson's actually catching Howling getting fast enough through here. He might be able to get him at the end here. Just gotta keep an eye out. So just a few corners to go now for Platt through the blind right-hander. Through the left, change direction right. Now we got the hairpin. He's really backed off now. You can see the gap's dropped to 10.7 seconds. Through the right hand kink and now into the final hairpin. The final corner. And Platt's going to make it 10 out of 10. He's had a crash, but despite that, it's going to take second place for Sire. VTR finish back on the podium after missing out at Catalonia. Finley, he's escaped bad luck despite being ill. He will finish in 4th place, and with a wheel, I think he's happy. He's just not had bad luck for once. And Nelson, even though he was catching Howling, he's run out of time unless Howling dumps it in the final corner, which he hasn't. Howling is going to will he cross the line in time? He didn't, he just missed it. So Platt takes first, Sire second, VTR third, Finley fourth, Howling fifth, Nelson sixth, and Craig in 7th. We will quickly get on to the interviews. So VTR, from my perspective, it wasn't the most enjoyable races to watch. Not entirely a lot of action, but 3rd place and you're one step away from being 2nd place in the championship. How was it?
I've been practicing a lot for the cloudy.
What's going on here? I've muted myself. Right, I'm in it. I've muted myself. Right, so VTR. Bit of a boring race, but 3rd place. You're one step away from finishing 2nd in the championship. How was it?
I didn't have much to say today. It was, like I said, it was quite a boring race. There wasn't much excitement. I think just after lap 5, once Nelson had dropped back through the field, I was almost just cruising the whole way. Nothing happened really. It's quite boring. So my fastest lap isn't very fast because I wasn't pushing my lap. So I was just sat in power 2 the whole race, going around just to make sure I finished in 3rd. And the only way I can do 2nd in the championship now is if Sire wins a race and comes 2nd, and I come last in both of them. So, good things for me.
Yep. Well done. So, despite the crash, Sire, you finished in 2nd place. It's another podium. You briefly led for about 2 corners, but that was about it. But how was that race for you?
To be honest, I've been told by my weather forecaster in my team could be cloudy this weekend, but it turned out to be wet, and basically my setup on the wet was not that good. I had less time practicing, and I have been practicing a lot for this track, especially in the dry. My pace was 39s, so I reckon I could have given a battle to Platt and Cloudy, but during the wet race I think I could have done 49.4 or 49 low, but a lot of mistakes here and there. Wasn't little consistent. When I start pushing, I made a mistake and I crashed. Platt has a very amazing start, and he has a good rhythm, especially during the early and towards the end race pace. I managed to clock the 49.0 towards the 11th lap, I think, but I wasn't that far. I was in 49s. I think I could have given a battle if I have more practice, but yeah, he's on another level. But we will give it a try on the next track, and I will see in Sepang. Maybe I can do what they call it, a redemption for the e-sport. Maybe you'll see.
Yep. So congratulations, and I think you might have moved into 3rd in the championship. I'm not quite sure.
Great, awesome. Should be good.
Yep. We move on to the winner. Apart from losing the lead briefly, the first two corners, I think the only bit of action you had was that moment through turn 9 when you lost the front and had a little bit of a trip through the grass. How was that moment for you?
Well, I mean, yeah, it was quite scary because I mean I was pushing for another fastest lap because I don't know, I had a bit of a gap after Sar's crash, so I could afford to do something like that, but made a mistake and lost a bit of time. But yeah, I was happy about my start, but then I changed back to TCS2 too early, so I got a lot of wheel spin and I lost a lot of drive. So Sar got my inside, and I think the overtake that I managed to put off around the outside at turn 2 was really nice. Maybe in contention for overtake of the season, but yeah. After that, I just stuck it into power 3, tried to keep my lead down the back straight, braked as hard as I could into turn 5, just to make sure I had no way of getting back through, and then I just stuck to my rhythm and not cruised, but relaxed a bit towards the end of the race, so I wouldn't make as many mistakes as maybe I would if I was fully pushing. And yeah, I'm happy, and congratulations to Sai, obviously in second place. He did well, and VTR as well, and almost confirming his second position in the championship.
Yep. Cheers for that. And that's been it for round 10. We're back round 11 next week in Sepang, and we'll see you then. Goodbye.